Do you need to write a business plan? Let's talk about it. There are a lot of thoughts online about business plans, and for some businesses, they're really necessary. Like, let's say you wanted to start a paper manufacturing plant in the middle of the country and you needed to raise millions of dollars from a bank. Yeah, you're gonna need a business plan. But for most of the stuff that you guys are trying to do, which is starting a service business or starting a small software company that's bootstrapped, meaning you're funding it yourself, or maybe your friends are giving you a little bit of money, you don't actually need a 50, 60-page business plan. And I actually talked about this in a past video about the one-page business plan. You can see the business plan we used for our designer brand, for our clothing brand, Albert Halsey. You can see that down below. But in today's video, I want to go a little bit further and talk about business plans in general. Do you need them? Do you not need them? And what to do instead. This video is brought to you by Email 10K. Learn how to book meetings with billion-dollar brands and take your company to the next level at email10k.com. Now, I really don't think you need a business plan if you're gonna start a business and you're bootstrapping it yourself. The only thing you really need is a path to revenue and some assumptions to test. So a business is really two things. It is making money and delivering the product or service. So those are the two things you really need to have set in your business plan. How are we gonna make money? How are we gonna deliver? And if you can knock those two out, that's all you really need. So think about the first one. How are we gonna make money? If you're a new entrepreneur, if you've never done this before, I would make a list of several ways to make money online. You know a bunch of them. Facebook ads, cold email, which is our bread and butter. Check out email10k.com for exactly how to do that. Cold calling, flyers. And I would commit to each one of those for a week. See if you can get results, any results, replies, opens, if it's a cold email, clicks, whatever, for a week. And then if so, keep going. I don't recommend Facebook ads for new businesses, by the way, because you might have to spend $10,000 to $20,000 before you make Facebook ads work, especially if you're a beginner. And that actually is against my number one tip in this video. Here's the first tip is don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Now, when I was first starting in entrepreneurship, I put a lot of our expenses on credit cards. And before I did that, I made sure to sign up for a bunch of credit cards. I think I ended up with about $30,000 to $40,000 in available credit, and I put about $20,000 of debt on these cards. It took me 2 years to pay it off, but I did eventually pay it off, and I was not investing more than I could afford to lose because I realized that if you go into a bunch of credit card debt, worst case is you stop paying it, and then you just bankrupt, and then 7 years later you're good to go. A lot of people don't think like that. So if you can't take that risk that maybe this isn't gonna work out, if you can't take that risk, you're better off just investing whatever you can in your business. Sometimes it's $0, and in that case, you're gonna have to put in a lot of your own time. Sometimes it's $1,000 a month. And if that's the case, then you're gonna be slightly limited in what you can do. But that can also be a good thing. So don't invest more than you can afford to lose. And at least for me, if you're young, you can afford to lose everything. It doesn't really matter. Worst case scenario, you go work at Starbucks, or you stop paying your debt and go work at Starbucks, and then you're good to go. A lot of the stuff that we think is risky, especially when we're young, is not really that risky. That's that. Time keeps moving on. I'm 29. In 1 year, I'll be 30. And I'm still probably going to be alive for at least 40 years. I know my dad died when he was 61, so at least I have 30 years. Or I'll die in a car accident, it won't matter. So there's not really too much risk to going all out on your dreams. The real risk is not going for your dream and looking back in 3 or 4 years being like, oh, I wish I started a business 3 years ago. That's the real risk. Which brings us to the next thing. Just get started. If your business is too big, like, hey, I want to open a paper mill in the middle of the United States, but you don't have any business experience or any paper experience, then I would say, don't do that business and be okay with that. The best first business to start is a services business, meaning you sell whatever you know how to do for money. The first money I made with entrepreneurship was copywriting. It was menu rewriting for restaurants. I would walk into the restaurants, offer to rewrite their menu. They'd pay me $50 to $100 for this. And that was my first business. That was the first way I was making money. So do stuff like that first, get yourself used to making money, and then you can go for the bigger fish once you have some cash. The other thing you want to do is test your idea in the market. I was watching the Steven Sondheim movie Magic Mike recently, and in one scene, the dude Mike is a male stripper, but he's trying to make it as a business owner. So he has this book that he takes to the bank, and he's trying to sell like custom furniture, and he's showing it to the bank, and he's like, hey, look at all this amazing furniture. This is what we're gonna do. And the bank turns him down flat for the loan. And it just got me thinking, if that's what most people are doing, of course it's not working. Right? What he needed to do instead is pitch some of his friends, maybe one of his friends, maybe one of his clients at the male strip club would have bought a table for like $300 and he could have made a table for them and started from there. And then once he had 10, 20 sales, maybe 30, 40 sales, once he had some volume going, then it would have been so much easier to get a loan from the bank. Banks, and really everyone, will front you money once you're making money. But before that, it's very, very hard to get cash. So if you go out and you try to raise money before you have a real business, the costs are just gonna be astronomical if anyone will loan to you at all. So test your idea. Don't be like the guy from Magic Mike. You see, he's a stripper at 30 plus years old. You know, his life's not on the best track. Versus if he was just going out there and trying to sell his tables one-to-one, maybe at a farmer's market or a flea market or something, he'd be in a much better position. The other thing you wanna do is have a reality check. So for instance, a lot of entrepreneurs will go out there and they'll say they're gonna make $20 million in their first year. And then you ask them how they're gonna make the 20 million, and they don't really have a proven marketing channel. They don't really know where the customers are gonna come from or anything like that. So have a reality check. Have you made $1 million yet? Maybe aim for $1 million if you haven't made $1 million. Try to get that first $1 million. It's tough, it's real tough. So just aim for that first. Try to keep an eye on whether you're crazy or not. The easiest way that I've found to figure out if you're crazy as an entrepreneur, if you're stuck in the idea phase and you can't break out, is to talk to a potential customer, try to sell them on your thing, and if they buy, you're not crazy. If they don't buy, you might be a little wacky. But now you know and you can change. So real reality check. If you talk to potential customers and you try to sell them, that's the only feedback you need. It's not like you're writing a screenplay and you're trying to figure out whether it's good art or bad art. You literally are creating a business. The win or lose here is, did they pay you, did they not pay you? It's not, do you think this business is a good idea or should I do this? That is irrelevant. The only thing relevant when you're coming up with a business concept is, does this make money, does this not make money? And then at that point, if it's making money, then you can decide that it's not for you. But do that once it's making money. Don't bog yourself down with analysis paralysis here. For instance, you need a business idea. It's so easy. You just look around the room. You can be like, oh, maybe I could sell phones on eBay. There's a business. And then you just commit to that for a couple weeks and see whether you like it or not. Maybe I could sell pens to businesses in bulk. Cold emailing. There's another company idea for you. This doesn't have to be tough. This doesn't have to be like the toughest thing. Basically, come up with any idea, test it in the market for free if you can, as free as possible. Get a little bit of traction, get some sales. The only traction that matters is actual sales. Then from that point, once you're getting 3, 4, 5 sales, once you have some money coming in, you can decide whether you want to quit your job, you can decide whether you want to raise money or ask your family for money, etc. What you don't want to do is ask for money before you have a proven concept. Because let's say you do have rich parents or rich uncles or whatever, and you have this amazing idea for furniture like the guy from Magic Mike, and you borrow $20,000 or $30,000 from these guys for an unproven idea. Because you've never sold any furniture before, it might fail. And then now these people have given you money and you wasted it. However, if you've spent the time on your own to go through and sell some furniture, now you can actually raise money with confidence, knowing that you're more likely than not to pay it back. And the investors will see that and they'll give you more money because of it. So that's what I would do instead of writing this detailed business plan. Follow the steps in this video and you should be good to go. By the way, if you want to actually start your business, you want a real step-by-step plan, everything exactly what to do, I would check out email10k.com. It goes through our system, how we've generated 7 figures using cold email. Check that out below. You can also go to email10k.com. This video is brought to you by Email10k. Hey, are you still thinking about investing in Facebook or Google ads to grow your business? Well, I just did and it took me $10,000 to break even. So unless you have that to drop before you see any results at all, I highly recommend you look into cold email because it's a better and cheaper way to kickstart your business. And honestly, I wish I would have invested the 10K in cold email. I would have seen a much bigger return and have in the past. Hop in Email10K and watch the free presentation. Thanks for watching the video. Smash that like button to encourage this type of content on YouTube. Just go ahead, tap that like button. YouTube really loves it when you do that. Leave a comment down below. What did you think of this video? Do you want more on this topic? Let me know. And thanks for watching. Check out our past content. Like this video, subscribe, because we do content like this 3 times a week. We also have all of our past videos about entrepreneurship, how to make money, how to sell more online, how to live your best life, etc. You can check all those out. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.